Stream. Acquiring stream configuration.
Ooh, that sounds exciting.
That does sound exciting. I forgot to set local recording. Whoops. You were not streaming to Twitch. We're good. All right, I was thinking that we were
going to be one of those days again.
I thought it was going to be perfectly fine. I'm like, oh wait, shit, I forgot to set this one thing. So whatever, we'll figure it out later. It'll be fine. Welcome to the Broken Chat Box for October 28th. This is our Halloween special.
Hello.
Welcome. We're all, except for Spentaneous, wearing... actually, no, I think Spentaneous is wearing his very secret invisible cloak. So,
yeah, that's what I'm wearing.
Yeah, it's invisible because you can't see it. Oh, wait, shit.
Yeah, I'm actually disguised as a ghost, but you can't see it because the cloak's invisible.
Yeah, there you go. I accidentally forgot to switch to cams. This is going lovely. Let's go ahead and just move on to what we were doing.
Yeah, I mean, we started off like half an hour late.
Yeah,
so
well, we're only 26 minutes. That's not as bad as the first time where we were 40 minutes late. We're only on episode 3. Give us some slack. We're figuring this out.
Yeah.
That's how it's going.
Episode 1 for me.
Oh, yeah, you haven't been here yet.
I blame Brittany.
Yeah, it's all Brittany's fault.
Exactly.
By the way, there's a 5th person here, but she's not going to say anything that's going to be audible on the mic because she's too afraid to come over here. So, I don't know if you guys could hear that.
We can hear her a little bit.
I can hear her.
Really?
All I heard was, no, stop beating me.
No, stop at the violence. It's not okay.
It sounded exactly like her.
Yeah.
This stupid hood is getting really hot.
We can take it off. Everyone's seen it now. It's okay.
I might lose it. I'll keep it on for a little while. I'll lose it later.
We should do stories about our costumes.
Exactly.
I think this is a great idea. I'm going to go first.
I think ContisMaximus should go first.
Dang it.
I want to know the story behind that thing.
Well, I go to a rock climbing gym. And on Sunday, we're doing a rave climb, which is also coinciding with Halloween. So we're all getting
rave climb?
Yeah, so it's after hours, and there's black lights and strobe lights and all that cool stuff. And
there's a climbing wall?
Yeah, it's a climbing gym.
Climb giant glow sticks.
That would be awesome.
You twirl them.
Oh, it'd be like those old giant jumping puzzles from... Fuck, I can't remember. Lara Croft, Tomb Raider. There we go. I don't know why that was hard.
So, yesterday I was just going around trying to find something stupid I could wear to the rave climb that I could also still wear while climbing rocks. And so I decided on the world's worst Sonic the Hedgehog costume. And along with this, I'm going to be wearing a wife beater and blue shorts.
Nice.
Perfect.
You're going to go fast. By the way, I've seen worse. I've seen way worse.
Are you getting the Nike brand Sonic shoes as well?
Do those exist?
No.
Yeah, Sonic Adventure.
I want them.
Sonic Adventure 1 or 2.
I do need a new pair of sneakers.
That is true.
Sonic Adventure.
Sonic Adventure was
Nike
supposed to
shoes.
advertise. It might not have been Nike.
Really?
They're like soap shoes. You know what those soap shoes are?
Shoes made of soap?
That was Sonic Adventure 2.
Yeah, Sonic Adventure 2. So
yeah, that was a whole brand. That was actually really interesting. That was a whole brand deal that was like made the last month before the game was published. And so they just kind of threw it into the game. Yeah, like all the sprite work that's in the game doesn't actually have Sonic wearing those shoes. It was like a 3D model change right at the end.
You guys know what soaping is, right?
Well, it's grinding on rails with your feet.
Well, the shoes, it's basically like there's like a wax, or not wax, like a hard plastic thing on like the arc of your shoe that you use to like grind on rails.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not working.
I went to a skate park once as a kid, tried to go on something, fell immediately and hurt myself, and never went back to another skate park.
Dude, me too.
So
I feel like that's how it goes for a lot of kids.
I was gonna try and show everyone what it looked like, but apparently my screen sharing's not working.
No, it worked for a second. Now you're on like your offline screen for whatever reason.
A whole bunch of different things.
I just
now
see,
is it working?
I just see your regular video.
Offline. Oh, now it's. Although it doesn't really help because there's like a 30-second delay, so we're like, oh no, it's there, it's gone.
It might work.
You're trying to do stuff.
Like he's got a 30-second delay. You've got like a 10-second. I've got like a 5.5, and he's got like a 0.
All right, so I just saw it on the Twitch thing. It showed it. Those are soap shoes. Whatever.
Why do they look like the freaking Zerasuit Samus like from Smash Shoes?
My browser really fucked up now though. I'm gonna try and figure that out. Anyways, UltimaZix, you want to go ahead and tell your story?
Oh, I was a soldier in Afghanistan, and Big Boss came, punched me right in the throat, and then Fultoned me, and he needed someone to raise morale, so I'm just a diamond dog that does Let's Plays. It's that simple.
About 5 people.
It was a little bit of an uninteresting story, but
Yeah.
what can you
I thought it
do?
was beautiful.
Whatever.
Yeah. I had a very magical journey to where I'm sitting here and I'm like, I need to do something stupid. And so I made cat ears out of paper.
What an interesting journey.
That was it. And my sister's here and she watched me make them. And I'm like, I haven't done arts and crafts in years. And so I'm doing arts and crafts. I had to find a glue stick. I went through 7 glue sticks and they were all
Did you
dried
glue
out.
them to your hair?
Yes, they glued to my hair. They no longer come off. They're gone. No, it's
That's-
actually a band. It's actually pretty cool. It's a whole band thing, and they're all tied to my ear using zip ties.
Oh, it's adorable.
So here's the thing that comes off right here. Yeah, there.
Well, you actually put some effort into that.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I'm
You
an
also
artist. I
get
know
a
how to
clap.
do this shit. I went to college for it. you see where it's going, right? I can make cat ears. That's where all of my college education went.
College
Art
level
major.
arts and crafts.
Yes.
I don't know. I hope you didn't spend lots on your education.
No.
He's only $17,000 in debt.
Yeah, it's like I only have, you know.
But I can make
$6,000.
That's like
Amazing
nothing
cat ears.
for like college debt. Jeez.
Yeah, so if you're ever wondering how much it costs to learn how to make paper ears, it's about 70 grand. Just about.
Something like that.
Spontaneous,
It's a
what's
lot
the
of
story
money.
behind your costume?
Well, the story behind my costume is I was sitting at my computer playing video games, and then I got a message, and he was like, "Hey, you still coming to the podcast?" And I was like, "Oh, I thought you already had some people." And then he's like, "Ah, come on." So I was like, "Okay," and I don't have anything.
I thought you were wearing an
By the
invisible
way,
cloak.
costumes.
All right, sorry, I have an invisible. I'm actually a spoopy ghost, and there's a cloak on, but you can't see it because it's high technology invisible crap. You know?
It's only one. It's a one-way thing.
Zix
as well.
knows what I'm talking about because
Yeah.
he kind of works in that kind of line of technology.
Yeah, stealth camo is a very big thing in the Diamond Dogs industries.
Yeah,
I bet it is. So they don't get to see their eyes.
exactly. Well, this is kind of the prototype one where you still kind of see me, so the invisibility cloak works just only on itself, not who's wearing it.
It's a one-way invis, kind of like a one-way like mirror or one-way glass. So he can only see
Ben
through like
can't
2
actually
little
see
holes.
anything through his costume right now. He's completely blind. He's
may
not
as well be
looking at
wearing
the
a
camera at
blindfold.
all.
Fine. It's great. Don't try streaking with it. It doesn't work.
It works out great now because when we go and capture bad guys and we don't want them to see where our base is, but we want to know if they're up to something, we throw this over them. So then they're like, "Oh, I can't see anything," but we're like, "Yeah, we can see you though."
Actual genius.
True.
So,
Turn that around.
So yeah, let's actually talk about like podcast stuff.
Subject.
So
Video games.
video games. What games have you guys been playing? Who wants
Go
to
buy
go
Hotline
first?
Miami and Hotline Miami 2. They're only $5 on sale together. Buy it now.
Sponsor.
Sponsored by
Not
Indie
sponsored.
Dev.
Sponsored by Zix.
Zix
You
is
have-
professionally. paid
I'll
for
be
this
waiting for
segment.
my paycheck, Zix.
Here you go. Where's my money? You're just flipping. They already gave me the money. Just there we go.
Great.
You're from the States, aren't you?
Fantastic. Who is
You
it?
guys
have
States?
cool
Oh wait,
money.
you're from Canada. What?
Yeah.
I forget about that every time. I'm like, oh,
Oh,
yeah, he's Canadian.
Canadian.
He's
You
nice.
guys have the cool thing where anytime you're like, "Make it rain," you guys pull out these little dollar bills and you're just like making it rain. If I go to do that, I get like arrested for assault and battery by hitting people with metal objects.
I hate that.
And then they apologize because they didn't realize you didn't have bad intentions.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, sorry, we didn't."
I go to
mean
Canada
that."
all the time, though. I live in Buffalo, New York. So
Nice.
It's like
I'm an
right on
American,
the
right?
border.
I'm an American. I can make it rain. In bills. Wait, hold on. There's wires. Oh, shit. That would have gone so much more smoother. Yeah.
Was that actual money?
I think it was actual bills he has yet
Yeah.
to pay.
Those bills.
And I think only one of them actually fluttered on your screen. The rest just like went
Yeah,
off
I know.
camera.
I threw them sideways. I forget that my camera is sideways, so I had to throw it over here, and I threw it behind me.
What's that Walmart receipt for?
Yeah, I saw that, and I was like, I don't know. What is it for?
Ooh, this is exciting.
It's for video games, which we're talking about in the podcast.
Start
Bringing
naming
it
stuff
home.
off.
I bought
Wait.
canned
$5
sweet
Pop
peas.
Tarts on that list.
I bought nails, some peanut
losing
butter,
this.
strawberry jam, grape jelly, bread,
Pop-Tarts.
bread, ramen
Pop-Tarts.
chickens,
Pop Tarts.
Parmesan noodles, chicken broccoli noodles, Alfredo noodles, pizza rolls, flour tortilla. All right, I'm done.
Okay, wait. How many more items are on the list?
Like 12.
Okay.
Is Pop Tarts one of them?
Yes, Pop Tarts is one of them.
Yes, I knew it.
Okay.
Oh, they call
I'm
it
gonna take
Toaster
it.
Pops.
I'm gonna take a guess on how much money you spent, And I'm gonna go with $146.
109.
Ah, dang.
See, if this is the Price is Right, you get kicked right out the show and they spit on your face.
Yeah,
on the
but
way
that
out.
would be
shit
about
bet $1
you know,
above you.
In
Below you, sorry.
Spence's defense, that would be about $146 in Canadian, since the
Really?
American,
Oh my gosh!
just
we're gonna-
about.
Flip.
About
Converter.
close.
That subliminal Canadian in him just
Well, it seems
kind of
about
came out.
150-ish probably, because Pop-Tarts are expensive up there. Just not easy.
You said it was 109.
Yeah.
$146.01.
Oh my god!
Are you for real? This can't be real.
Oh my!
All right, let's actually talk about a game. Has anybody actually played the Price is Right games?
Oh,
I
they're
should
awful.
be.
They are terrible.
They're all
They are
awful.
absolutely terrible.
You got to get the full shovelware experience too. You got to get on the Wii and you got to get in the
Yep.
bargain bin.
You guys had that, didn't you, Brittany? One of the Price is Right games? Or was that a different one? No. Oh yeah, you guys had the Wipeout games though.
Ooh, those are just
Those
as
are
good.
bad too. You want to come over here and talk about it? No? You don't remember. All right, whatever. She's not very useful.
Great contribution to the podcast, Brittany.
Yeah, I'm very happy with her contribution. Yeah, you throw balls. So there's balls in Wipeout. There's also these
good.
little soft things that you throw at people.
Mhm.
There was jokes there. Jokes. All right, let's actually talk about good games. Anybody play any good games? I've played a lot of good games this week. So
Michael, why don't you start us off?
Paper Mario Color Splash. I played that one.
how was that one?
Sorry.
I have heard very mixed reviews on that one.
I
didn't think it was too bad.
Well, I'm probably less than halfway through it right now, but I have been playing it slowly, and I think it's charming, and like the writing is like pretty hilarious.
The writing is awesome.
I'm slowly getting like more disappointed by it because it's seeming like there's not going to be any other party members, and that's like half of what I loved about the like 1,000-Year Door and the
Are you
original
ready
Paper
to tap
Mario.
cards on your game card and slide them toward the enemy again for every single battle?
Yeah, that's a little annoying too. But they do let you later on in the game, if you're significantly stronger, if you just like do a first strike on them, they might just die instantly without it going into battle screen.
I wish more RPGs did that. What did that start with? That was like Earthbound or something?
Yeah,
That's
Earthbound
like the
did
first
that.
notable example, at least.
I've played a lot of JRPGs that do that, to where like they have the perk that you can turn on, to where like all the Neptunia games have it too, to where it's like you attack an enemy, if you're strong enough, it'll just kill them right off the bat, and you get the XP and
Really?
gold for it. So,
I've never seen anything like that in games before.
do you play a lot of
You are missing
JRPGs?
out.
Or?
Not tons, but I've played a lot of like Final Fantasies and
Oh,
stuff.
Final
that comes
Fantasies
out on
don't
the
do
No
Xbox.
Fantasy
assholes.
doesn't do that.
They do auto battle instead, which people hate even more for some reason.
Well, it's nice when you suck at the game. You're like, I'm gonna go make some spaghetti. So you just throw it on auto battle, make your spaghetti, and you come back, and suddenly you're an amazing level.
Yeah, that's how mobile games work. I'm still playing Super Monster League that you guys didn't want me to talk about last time.
Tell us all about it.
Oh, that game's awesome. I got it working on my computer now. I found a new Android emulator on computer, and it's actually pretty good. It's called Leap Droid. And it's actually pretty fantastic, but I don't know anything about the company, so I probably shouldn't have said their name. But no, so basically now what I'm doing with it is, this is terrible, but I play it on my phone when I'm not here. Like when I'm just walking to work and stuff like that, I'm like, whatever, I'm just going to click on it a few times, because it's a turn-based battle game, kind of like Pokemon and stuff like that. So it's very easy to like play it and then come back to it, periodically. You can just pause it at any point. And so
Okay.
I'll just make a few turns, and then when I'm at home, I'll be like, oh, well, I'm just going to sit down on my computer and just have it running in the background. It's like, oh, I'm not doing anything, or I'm waiting for an upload. I'll just click on it to attack things and then just go back to what I'm doing. And then I have to go to the bathroom. I'm like, you know what? I'm one of those creeps that takes their phone into the bathroom. And so I'll just turn it off on the computer and log in on
Everyone's
my phone
one of those
and play it
creeps.
while I'm on there. I'm addicted to it, probably.
Just a little bit.
In that sense, it's not too bad of an idea to have the auto battle anything, because I take it there's like leaderboards.
Oh, yeah, it's
stuff like that.
It's kind of
So it's
grindy.
something that even someone who doesn't use their phone very much, they can still kind of keep up with others.
Yeah.
Where,
They
like, if
have-
I was
they
to
have
play that
auto
game
battle.
and have auto battle, then I'd probably play it for like a couple days and be like, well, I'm done with this.
Well,
But
the
because
thing
you can
about
just
it-
leave it going, then you can actually still kind of keep.
Yeah, the thing about it, though, is they have the audio battle to kind of fill that grind space, basically. But it's also kind of nice the way that it has the whole battle system, is you have different characters with different abilities and such as that. And so, like, you're able to strategize when you're actually playing manually, which actually makes it more entertaining to do it manually as well.
Okay.
So, you know, you can do the grinding automatically, but then when you want to actually do the harder dungeons and stuff like that, you're like, oh, I need to actually play it now. And I don't know, it's satisfying.
That's cool.
So that's fun. Not the best game in the world, but I love it because it's actually it's a mobile game with a really good art style. And I love it. So that's good. Anybody else?
Spontaneous, how about you?
I've been playing Evil Genius.
I'm looking that up right now.
It came out a long time ago.
Is that actually the name of it? Just Evil Genius?
Yeah, it's Evil Genius. You are an evil genius who has to build a base to take over the world you control. It's kind of like I don't know what they classified. I think you'd call it like a strategy game.
Like a strategy sim?
Strategy sim, where I have to build a base inside this mountain, slowly like build my little tunnels, add rooms onto it, hire henchmen, and then stop evil good agents coming in to try and like mess up my stuff.
It's like Dungeon Keeper or whatever.
This is really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty similar to that, but it's I don't know. I love it. I've been playing it for I don't know how long.
Super dated.
Yeah, it's a really old game. They have a few, like there's an unofficial patch and stuff that's come in and fixed a lot of the bugs in it. And there's little people have made their own little fan mods where you can actually play it in like full resolution now instead of it being all like smushed onto your screen.
Oh, that's nice.
They're supposed. What sucks is, I hate this so much. This is one of my favorite games, and they were supposed to come out with Evil Genius 2. They made this Facebook game to help fund their Evil Genius 2 game. Never came out, and then they made this one on the. They ended up making another one on the. Like the iPod or iPad, sorry, that came out.
So they did what Dungeon Keeper
a couple months ago, and it's not the same because it's all these like, oh, you have to wait 3 hours to do something. It's
so
like,
yeah, they did exactly what they did to Dungeon Keeper: is strip the game and made it all wait timers.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
But I mean, Evil Genius 1 is still amazing. I go back and play it.
People wonder why mobile gaming is such a hard market to get into.
Yeah, it's like I wonder if we like stop screwing people over. If they might like consider maybe.
Like some of the stuff they did is really cool. How now in the mobile game you can actually go and sneak into other people's secret bases and try and uncover information or steal money from them. So in the sense that you now can do all this interaction with other people from across the world, I understand why they put in those timers. Where if it was like a complete single player experience, then the timers they wouldn't have those in there. But because it's the whole interacting with the world, it makes sense it's there. So
that kind of sucks. I hate timers. There's timers in the mobile game I talked about, Super Monster League.
Well, it's fine because you could just pay a little extra money and you can avoid the timers.
You can pay this much amount. No, but like the one that I've been playing for mobile, Super Monster League, like I haven't ever had to like wait for a timer, which is kind of nice because they give you they have a stamina system, which is bullshit. But like they give you so much stamina, it's just like I wait 5 minutes and then I have 1,000 stamina that I can just do whatever the hell I want with, which is kind of nice.
I have a confession to make.
What is that?
I gave Konami bucks to Konami so I could get into their base of operations in Metal Gear Solid 5. I gave Konami more money than I needed to.
Oh God.
What do you mean?
I did that.
What game was that?
Huh?
Was that Metal Gear Solid 5?
Yeah, you can get forward operating bases to help farm more resources and help attack other forward operating bases. And I was greedy and wanted another because I didn't want to wait 30 freaking days to buy another one with in-game money.
That's ridiculous. 30 days,
if not longer, with some.
It's ridiculous. See, I like the one I'm playing because it doesn't do that, but the microtransactions are kind of expensive, but you don't need them. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't like having to wait 30 days to do something. I've tried so many, and they're just like, no, I can't wait for this timer. It's just ridiculous.
I think why they make the timers that long is because then you like
have to
want to wait.
You have to. Like, I don't know. I remember when I was visiting my dad in Cali. He was playing Clash of Clans. He had fucking like 2-month wait timers in some of his towers, and I'm like, that's fucking ridiculous.
I think it's done with like the wait timers are just wait timers to wait timers essentially. Yeah. There's nothing substantial at the end of anything.
So I just get like fed up with it and not play the game anymore. like I do with most mobile games.
See, you can tell that none of us have disposable income yet.
I have some, but I buy actual full games instead of paying it for a freedom game, whatever.
Yeah, no.
I'll admit I have
actually-
paid for free-to-play games before. I paid for like Warframe and stuff like that because they're awesome and fun.
I made money
And I'm
from
impatient.
TF2.
Oh, how long did we spend talking about TF2 last time?
I asked Michael that question the other day, and he was just like, I don't think we're talking about it at all.
I completely forgot about that entire section. I had to go rewatch.
It was like half the podcast.
It was.
Wasn't half the podcast, but
Well, it was like that whole section we were talking about, the whole style.
that's nothing wrong. I'm just trying to make comments at Zix.
Okay.
I'm more like right now. I'm more in that like that trap that everyone talks about, where like you're a kid, you have like all the time in the world to play games, but you have no money to get games with. And now I have money to get games because I have a full-time career, but I don't have any time to play the games that I have money to buy. And I'm getting like stressed out because I want to play through the rest of Paper Mario. The Dark Souls 3 DLC just came out.
Oh yeah.
And I want to beat that before Pokemon comes out in like
Oh, I forgot.
3
about that.
weeks.
I might actually pick up
Really
this
that
Pokemon.
soon?
I might. I'll consider it. My sister just looked at me like, "What?"
What?
She just turns
Pokemon?
away, just with that smirk, like, whatever. Whatever.
Well, the new Pokemon looks really cool, and it's taking.
It does.
I mean, we all probably grew up with the very first Pokemon game, and this is kind of like a tribute back to that one. And then
Well,
with the whole
that's-
Pokemon Go getting Pokemon back in the
Right.
brain, then it's just perfect
It
timing
was
for
brilliant
all of it.
marketing, for sure.
It just prints money. It's that simple.
Quite literally. Just like those Pokemon cards, they become money.
Nintendo's going way back into the black now. Like the Wii U was a flop, but with Pokemon and the Switch, Nintendo's just like gonna be raking it in for the next couple of years.
Well, a lot of
Nintendo-
people debate on that with the Switch.
There's one news for the Switch that I found out. Technically, it's a rumor, but it's from tech guys. Fuck, I should just find that article. I posted it in our Discord.
Or you could just tell us right now because we want to know it.
All right. Anyways, so long story short, basically the Nintendo Switch is confirmed to have a dual multi-touch touchscreen on the tablet,
I'm okay with that.
and it's going to be 720p.
That's a
For
lot
a
of pieces.
tablet that small, like that's
So-
look real good.
That's a lot of peas.
That's how it's going to run games. It's going to be at 720p, and I'm speculating that it might end up up-resing for
Like-
when it goes on
like
TVs.
degrees, or
hmm
So
that was never mind. That was a bad joke.
Why would it spin twice?
despite not showcasing any touchscreen-centric features in the announcement trailer, sources have said that the tablet-like screen on the Switch is a touch-sensitive display, specifically with the Switch feature a 7.2-inch 720p capacitive multi-touch screen with an ability to read up to 10 touch inputs at once.
That's two entire hands.
Yeah, it's
That's
twofold.
nice.
I think that
If you just want to diddle all your fingers on the screen for a little bit,
Yes.
I
Don't know
have
what's
to
going
play my
on.
keyboard on my Nintendo Switch. I gotta compose a song.
hmm
My
oh,
tiny
so
piano.
the right Joy-Con controller has a built-in IR sensor that could potentially interact with a television screen to mimic touchscreen features while the Switch is in its cradle, because you can't use the screen while it's plugged in to the TV.
Yeah.
So that seems interesting. I'm actually excited for it a little bit more than most people are, because
no,
I like consoles.
everyone
'cause they
I've talked
can-
to is super excited for the Switch, and including me.
Yeah. So
Well-
okay, so you're excited too, because I haven't heard your thoughts on it.
Yeah.
I haven't talked to you until today for a while. Yeah, but
Yeah,
I'm
it's
like
true.
really excited because the thing about consoles, and especially handheld consoles, is they have the advantages of having other input stuff. So it's like the 3DS, it has a touchscreen. The PS Vita that failed, it has a bunch of shit. Like,
Why did the Vita have to fail? It was
Yeah.
such a good concept, good
but
console.
that stuff, it has all these other input features, and that's what I think is actually interesting about consoles. Is like, the 360 had Kinect, which could have been really cool if they actually did shit with it.
But then the problem is that people are so uncreative that they just take the gimmick and then take the most
Yeah.
bare bones way of implementing it and staying there.
And then the Wii U just used it wrong. They killed
Right.
Star Fox.
Right.
Miyamoto killed Star Fox. That was all designed by him. He goofed it. He had to
Well,
put in all those
I mean,
mechanics.
They can't
Well,
all be
sometimes you
winners.
gotta try new
Miyamoto's
things.
done well over the years.
He's
That's
done really
true.
well. So
It's like if you make 10 amazing games and one of them's a flop. It's gonna happen.
I don't know. A lot of things flopped in the Wii U though, and they didn't have very many games. So.
Right.
Yeah.
What are you excited about for the Switch though, Maximus? I'm curious on your perspective.
I am very excited because they showed off just a tiny little clip of a new like full 3D Mario.
So you just want the game.
Oh, I mean, I want the games that are going to be on the Switch, obviously. That's what I'm looking forward to. Is just like more Nintendo games.
I kind of want them to move it all to
Breath of the
PC.
Wild.
That would be lovely.
What's that?
I want to move to PC. I think that Nintendo moving all their games to PC, that'd be great. I think everything should be on PC.
What?
No.
Yeah.
But why would you shake your head to that?
No, because then it wouldn't be Nintendo.
Right.
Yeah, then
Like,
Nintendo would be
Nintendo-
killing themselves.
Nintendo,
Nintendo's not killing
the
themselves.
game?
That's the thing. Like everybody's talking about the Switch. Like,
Yeah.
you know, some people might be like naysayers, but like more so than the Wii U ever was, people know about and are talking about the Switch, and just that in itself means it's gonna do well because it's coming out soon. Is the big thing. It's coming out really soon. Coming out in March.
And Nintendo's already proved they're like good at putting things on things that aren't theirs. Look at how well Pokemon Go did.
Well,
if they
wasn't them though. That was another company.
Yeah, that was Niantic. But point being, if they wanted to like hire just a few people that know how to port stuff to PC and just do that, I'll bet you it'd sell like freaking hotcakes.
Yeah, but if Nintendo leaves the console wars, which I mean they're kind of doing, but they're kind of not, then I don't think the consoles are gonna advance at any rate, like anywhere near the rate that they are now. Because Nintendo is what's always been the most innovative with the consoles. They come up with something new. Microsoft and Sony try to make something similar to it. And I mean, yeah, like Microsoft and Sony come up with their own crazy things too that are pretty good. Like the whole Xbox One being the entertainment system, where apparently that was all you're supposed to need, which kind of worked, kind of didn't.
It didn't.
But
I think that kind of impacts the quality of games negatively in some ways, though. Because like how do I put this? All right, like give me like 2 minutes to like think about a full-on sentence to put to this.
I've already got a rebuttal rating for you. So.
All right, so like I'm excited for the Switch, not because it's a console, right? Because I don't really like consoles anymore. I think consoles have kind of overstayed their welcome in a way. But I like the company and the aspect to it, and I like the idea of the Switch because it's a console that's not a console, it's a portable. It's a tablet. That's what it is. And I actually did a video on it if anybody's curious on my in-depth thoughts of that, whatever. But like it's a tablet that I can take somewhere. And it's going to have, different types of input and stuff like that. And I think that the idea of a tablet that also plugs into a screen is actually a really, really good idea if it's done well and actually has the right support. NVIDIA Shield and the NVIDIA tablet was basically that. I mean, that's basically what the Switch is. It's a tablet that can connect to a TV and it plays games really, really well.
Right.
NVIDIA can't even get GeForce to work.
Well, yeah, that's the problem, though. Like, NVIDIA couldn't get it to work because they just didn't put in the effort and time and money to it, I believe, or they just weren't able to market right, and it didn't have something unique to sell it. And Nintendo has that unique push. They have the marketing capabilities to be like, we're Nintendo, and people will buy it just right off the gate. And I might actually pick this up. This is the first time I've been excited for something for Nintendo for years. So I'm really excited for that aspect. And I'd love to have it because I'd love to have another portable machine because I'm kind of tired of my 3DS. I don't have a lot of games on it.
Yeah.
And it's a really small
3DS kind of hurts my hand. Yeah, it kind of hurts my thumbs after a little while.
Are you using a new 3DS or an old 3DS?
New 3DS XL.
What? That thing's kind of comfy.
I still have an old one.
Like after a couple hours, like my thumbs start to hurt. I don't know why.
I think I've constructed my thoughts a little bit better. So
okay, go for it.
I think that Nintendo can unintentionally affect the gaming industry in a negative way because of their gimmicks. For example, the Wii was the highest selling console basically of all time, right? Right. But because of the way that they chose to gimmick with the input, every game in that era was either super casual or super hardcore, and it just kind of like split the market super like poorly because there was nothing but shovelware coming out on the Wii with like just all that crap, and the amount of people who wanted to play games increased, but it didn't increase with the quality of the games that they wanted to play because to them gaming was just like a super like casual thing, you know?
I can see your point from that.
The hardcore market is frequently ignored, I feel, in some respects when it comes to Nintendo, because they want games to be super open. And it's the same thing with like fighting games, like Street Fighter V. I think I saw a report that like they only have sold 100,000 copies from now to when it released. That is abysmal. That is absolutely
there's other reasons
terrible.
for that too, but
Oh yeah. Well, that's basically an early access game. Point being, and even the new Smash Brothers, like it's very like beginner focused, and it kind of focuses on the hardcore a little bit, but it's still like
I can see your point from
Nintendo
that. I would
makes
disagree
games
though.
for everyone, which
I
doesn't always work.
I disagree with that type of
Smash-
mindset.
I think personally, I Smash Bros is my favorite out of the series. I've played all of them.
I like them too.
I don't know, Melee is really good, and it has a lot of high level players. But a lot of the tech used in Melee isn't stuff like Nintendo intended to be there.
Yeah,
It's like
Melee was only good on
now.
accident.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a haha fun party game. Use items on every map.
Throw a Pokeball at someone and summon a Charizard to burn their face.
And it's hard to capture that magic that games used to have back in like early 2000s when they were like really good games, or even like before
That's
that.
dangerous to say though, because
Yeah.
back then you were a teenager,
Or
right?
Yes, that's
Or
true.
younger.
But I never
So
owned any consoles
You
when I was.
gotta make sure you're not mixing that up with nostalgia.
I've got
That's
to
what
say,
a lot of
I've gotta
people do.
say, I have to disagree with that statement because I recently played The Witcher 3, and holy shit, that captures everything that I used to feel in games because it is fantastic.
I would say that I'm a little bit immune to it only because I never owned any consoles as a kid. I had a GameCube and Melee, and that's it. I loved Melee. Melee was hella fun. But
Oh yeah.
was fun.
I
used to play
will
with
I will
friends all the
acknowledge
time.
if that's something I can.
I've loved every Smash Bros in the era where that was like the newest Smash Bros.
Yeah, I remember playing, what's the one for, that's Brawl.
Mhm.
Brawl was really fun to play co-op. Brittany, you played that one? She's still here, by the way. She's just silent.
Hi, Brittany.
Say hi.
People
Actually,
can
just
also
hi
like
back.
totally
Anyways, we used to
Hello.
play Brawl, and like they had that co-op mode and stuff like that, and that was super fun because we're not super competitive, but like, you know, that type of stuff was actually really entertaining. And so like all the Brawl games have been, or all the Super Smash Bros. Games have just been fun, even for people who don't like the competitive aspects of it. It's just a great party game. That's fantastic.
It's hard to find a game that can like reach that level of like that type of gameplay with the amount of competition needed to make it interesting.
Yeah,
It's very difficult
trying
to make something like that.
I'm trying to think of any other company that has that sort of games, and I can't really think of many.
No, not really.
Like, or any at all. Like, any games haven't even caught up yet to make that sort of thing happen, unfortunately.
Maybe GSC?
GSC? What is
What's
GSC?
GSC?
I think they made all the stalker games.
I have no
I'm a
idea.
sucker
I
for
didn't
their
play
games.
those.
Come on!
That's the one where it's like S.T.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
haven't
it's
played
an
it.
acronym for something.
It's extremely rare that I play a game that like hits that feeling that's like this is what a game should feel like. It feels amazing. It doesn't like, and I only discovered them recently, like last year as well. So like it's not nostalgia, I swear.
Oh, so you're new to it.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's,
I
it
still haven't played
captures
him.
that-
I haven't played him. Oh, well.
Captures that feeling of
Isn't that like a
I want to
first-person
improve.
shooter or something like that?
Yes, it's a
Yeah,
first-person
see, I
shooter.
didn't get into
Yeah.
tons and tons of those.
Oh no.
I think
don't
Halo was
play
my first-person like high point.
FPS games.
So, I have a game that I want to talk about for a little bit.
Okay.
That's cool.
And
But we're
if they
busy
found
talking
out,
about other stuff.
If they were talking, that's fine. You can do that. No, if they found out, me and Ultima had this thing. We were trying to get some streaming software to work or whatever. We had an experience with this game because we tried to use it, and it's by Koei Tecmo. It's called Dragon Quest Heroes.
Oh my
So
gosh.
anybody know about this?
Is that the new one? Where it's like Minecraft slash...
No, that's Builders, which is oh god.
Oh, that's Builders.
Don't even get me started. Don't. No. we're gonna leave that for another podcast when I actually play it longer. Dragon Quest Heroes is basically a Dynasty Warriors game. It's kind of like Hyrule Warriors, stuff like that. So they took Dragon
Yes,
Quest
yes,
and
I
made it
remember
into
that.
a Dynasty
pretty
Warriors
neat.
type of thing. So it's a Musou fighter game. So you just go around, murder hundreds and hundreds of monsters, and you just obliterate the battlefield with ridiculous abilities and stuff like that. And it's got some tactical elements like defend this point, defend that, and stuff like that. And it's got Dragon Quest as its theme. So it's a bunch of Dragon Quest characters. It's got some unique characters as well. And Dragon Quest, for anybody who knows Dragon Quest, is just ridiculous out the walls. I love it for that. It's just comically, it's like a comical side of if Japan was Eastern Europe. And so it's fabulous.
It's Final Fantasy Ball Z.
Yeah, basically, except more European. It's great. Everyone has really ridiculous accents. But one thing that I found about this, and this has been known for a while, so it's not news, but we tried doing the streaming software, and it has streaming, like, kind of blocks inside of it. So we went into the game, and I was like, all right, well, this isn't working because my controller wasn't working, so I was going to try to exit the game. I hit enter to exit the game, and it pops up a notice saying that you're not supposed to stream the game. And we couldn't exit the game because every time we tried to exit the game, it popped up with this message. I couldn't start the game. I couldn't change the options. He could even control it because of the streaming stuff we were using. And it's like every single time. So I had to like force quit the game using Steam.
Huh.
That was fantastic.
I've never seen a game that like won't let you stream it. Like that's real.
Well,
You're not supposed to
couple.
stream this, but if you're doing it, you better not stop.
No, it seriously won't even start the game.
Yeah, it won't.
Like
it wouldn't let us
you
play.
couldn't do anything.
I don't remember that being a thing because when it released, people would stream it, and it just gave you a little warning, and it put on a notice on the thing. But this time, it actually came up with a message that said it wasn't streaming, and it just wouldn't let me start the game, which was ridiculous. Like my
I
controller.
mean, it's understandable why
wouldn't stream
a
it.
developer would do that. Because they want
It
they
just
want
has
you
a
to buy
built-in
the game.
feature
They
to
want you
see
to play
if
it.
your subscriber count is high enough.
There's a lot to do with the
It's Koei Tecmo.
it's mostly about copyright laws having to do with music. That's a lot of the reason why
I have a feeling.
Fire Emblem
Koei Tecmo does it with a lot of their games, though. That's why I mentioned it's a Koei Tecmo game. Like, they do it with almost all their games. And the thing is, it's locked on console, so console has the automatic share features and stuff like that. So all those are disabled when you're playing it.
Yeah.
So that's where it comes from. And I guess they upgraded it to detect NVIDIA and stuff like that, all their streaming software. So that's annoying.
It's impressive.
It's
We're
a
gonna have to
great
make like
game,
a
though.
super bootleg
It's a really,
version
really
of a
fun
stream.
game. It actually has a lot of like nods to the whole Dragon Quest thing. Like it has some stuff that shouldn't be there, but it's there because it's Dragon Quest. You know how in Dragon Quest, especially the older ones, to where it like forces you to go through dialogue and stuff like that. And every time you do something special, it always plays a little tune. Have you guys played Dragon Quest?
A little bit. I
Okay,
played.
well,
You know what
Spentaneous
Dragon
knows
Quest
what I'm
game I
talking
played?
about.
You know what freaking Dragon Quest game I played the hell out of? The freaking one where you're a slime and you have to like build a tank and throw things at each other. Do you ever play
I
that
don't
one?
remember that one.
No.
Let me look that one up.
Okay, while you're looking that one up, I'll continue. But yeah, it has a lot of these notable things. Like, it has the certain kind of character artwork is there, so it's got that sort of off, but intentionally off, so the eyes are always too far apart in the artwork, just intentionally, because that's the artist's style. And it always has those thick black lines that just, it kind of looks like crayons, but that's intentional.
Rocket Slime. It was called Rocket Slime.
Never played it.
Okay.
What?
And then, but
It's
like, there's
okay.
other things,
Even
like
heard of
every
it.
time you complete a quest, or you get a new party member, or you switch up your party member, it always does the whole theme music thing to where it's like da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And you have to listen to it every single time, and it's very, very annoying. Anyways, I'm done talking about it. What were you telling Ultimate?
Rocket
Yeah, I don't
Slime is a
remember this
very
one.
weird spin-off game. You're essentially just one of the slimes, and you find friends that they're all just like enemies from the Dragon Quest series, and you essentially go around the world
Oh,
picking
it's
up
the DS
items that
one.
shoot at each other. Yep.
All right, I played
The
this
main
one.
mechanic is you hold down A, pick a direction, and you'll stretch in that direction, and then you'll launch the opposite direction after releasing A.
Yeah, I
And
remember
you do
this.
that to pick up items, you do that to knock out enemies, and you do that to throw items into your tank cannon to shoot the other tank, which is themed about like enemy. Like you're just in a giant castle with a cannon on it, with tank treads, basically.
It's a weird action sort of puzzle sort of hybrid.
Yeah, because like
Yeah.
the idea is you have three cans, like one up top, one on the bottom, and one low. I think there's just two cans, and you want to shoot items that will intersect and like overpower them with how many you shoot,
Okay.
and then you can like strategize which one you're shooting, or you can just walk over to the other tank and then knock out everyone in there, and then like your tank members just destroy it, which is generally the best idea.
As well.
It's
Yeah,
pretty, it's a
it's got
silly,
some-
weird game.
I
It's
haven't
very
played
grindy
it
though.
much.
When
But
did
I did have-
eBay start reviewing games?
That happens? Wait, eBay has reviews for games.
I looked up Rocket Slime and it's got Metacritic 83%, GameFAQs 83%, eBay 4.5 out of 5.
It does.
They're the new authority. Haven't you heard?
Everyone says he's
Oh man,
eBay
my
instead
screen
of
share is broken.
Metacritic.
I forgot about that. I was about to share it and then I forgot it's broken. All right, well, that's a thing. But yeah, it says it on here. That's a thing that happened. Okay.
Freaking Rocket
Ultima,
Slime is
did
the
you talk about
weirdest
a game that you played? I don't remember.
I did not. Let's see. I played.
Game.
I've been playing Siege, and I'm gonna try and
Rainbow
do
Six Siege.
Rainbow Six
there we
Siege.
go.
Yeah, he keeps calling it Siege, and it pisses me off because I don't know what it is every time he says it, and I'm like,
Well, I feel like he's like halfway through his word because he's having a seizure.
Siege.
Yeah, see what I did there?
Halloween
so funny.
Do you guys want to hear about Hotline Miami or Rainbow Six Siege?
Whatever one your passion
Here, hold
is
on.
pulling you towards.
I have a nickel, right?
Okay.
What do you want one to be heads?
Siege because headshots.
I was supposed to catch it. Tails. Talk about Hotline.
Okay. Hotline Miami is a top-down 80s simulation where you murder everyone. If you have not played it, what?
I know too much about this game. Continue.
It's amazing. It's a freaking fantastic game. Okay, so essentially you have one life. You have to kill everyone in an apartment or house or whatever floor that you're on within that one life. One hit will kill you. One hit will kill everyone else.
It's a top-down shooter as well, so you have an overhead view, and it's very interesting in the way that it looks. It's very bright and colorful, but at the same time, it's very cluttered. It kind of looks like one of those old 90s games that was cobbled together, but then add in modern like blurring effects and stuff like that.
Yeah, like if you've ever looked at like a CAD draft of like a house, that's essentially what you're looking at. But there's like clothes scattered everywhere. There's like blood and guts. And it's
very detailed.
If you absolutely hate retrying levels with a burning passion, this game is not for you.
No,
I will disagree because when you retry something over and over, it's just like I gotta flip and start at the beginning, go all the way through. You can beat almost every level within a minute. So if you have to hit R to restart 100 times, it's okay because you only wasted like 5-10 seconds of your time every time. Except for the bosses, because the bosses are kind of silly. But I would highly recommend it for A, a Halloween experience, B, a freaking fantastic time, C, screw the hospital level, D,
I don't like hospitals.
It's just a fantastic like art experience. If you don't, it's also like a good story as well. Like if
heard
you like
a lot of controversy about that story because it was like messed up and stuff.
1 or 2?
I don't know. I don't remember. I think it was 2.
Two is a flawed masterpiece, I would say.
A flawed masterpiece. All right,
do
you're gonna have
not
to explain
start
that.
with Hotline Miami 2. You will hate yourself because the developers made the biggest mistake you can do when making a sequel.
And
they started the level difficulty at the ending of the first game.
So if you started on the second game, you were
that's not a bad thing though. It's people who played the first one, they can go into the second one and they can feel like it's great.
I feel like when you do that, you have to have that ramp still, because you can't expect people to just go from the first game to the second game right away. So you can get back to that difficulty. Like let's say level 3 is up to that difficulty again, but you still need those 2 levels to kind of build up to that.
Curve of difficulty of the first game goes like, and it's like great, it's perfect, and you feel amazing at those last few levels. And then Hotline Miami 2 is just like, and it just keeps going.
Lovely. Seems like it's really freaking hard. I haven't actually played the second one, so yeah. And I don't own the first one either. My friend Jesse was really into it though. So.
How long did it take for the second one to come out after the first one?
So like 2-3 years or something.
Yeah, it was like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
I thought it was a year.
Okay.
Maybe it was a year
like
between
that.
when I saw them. Like I played one, and then maybe it was a year later. My memory might be kind of messed with it. I don't know.
They're both great experiences on their own, but you should play one after the other. And you're not gonna like Hotline Miami 2 the first time you play it. I guarantee it. But after give it like a month and think about it, and you'll like have all these fond memories of it. And then you'll go back and play any of the Vietnam levels and think, why did I like this game again? And you'll play any level with the fans and you're like, I remember again.
Lovely. That's an old game now, though, isn't it?
I
remember that
a little
game.
bit.
The publishers gave permission to pirate the game in Australia because they weren't actually allowed to sell it in Australia.
Yep.
I thought that was cool.
Also, if If you've never seen the Japanese box art for Hotline Miami or Hotline Miami 2, go look it up because it is amazing.
Google.
Is it super anime?
It's so the box art is just a picture of El Huervo, one of the musicians, and also a character in the game known as Beard. For the American box art, and it's that like that famous picture of like his glasses are broken and he's just kind of like staring at like a nuke.
Oh wow!
And then the Japanese box art is just like this amazing picture of Richard, and it's freaking super cool.
Oh my god! So it's like the chicken head thing.
Yeah, that's Richard.
Oh my god! I wish my screen sharing was working this time. Why is it broken?
I could gush about Hotline Miami all day, but I have to nutshell it because we're in like a small segment of this show.
Right. Let's go ahead and move on to some interesting topics for the news and stuff. I actually found quite a bit of news this week.
Yeah.
Let's talk about one that I'm actually really excited about that has absolutely no relevance to most people ever. So Bethesda has released Skyrim Special Edition,
Woohoo!
which is Skyrim's re-release. And I was playing it last night. It literally just released last night. So, any of you guys into Skyrim at all?
Never played it.
Never played it.
That's surprising.
Really? You should buy it when it's $4 eventually, like in 2 weeks. It's super cheap all the time. Actually, I don't think they're going to do that because they just released Special Edition, which they are shilling on consoles for getting that $60 again, just ridiculously, which is kind of lame. But everyone on PC who had Skyrim and all the DLCs or the Legendary Edition got it free, aka people like me, because I played that game for 1,000 hours and I'll probably still play it for another.
Which is good that we got it for free because it wouldn't be worth to buy it.
If not, no, it's not
still
worth buying
fantastic,
again.
though.
Not
Still
worth buying
fantastic.
again. But yeah, it's actually a good game because it's been a long time since I played it vanilla, like without mods and stuff like that. Because I mod it, I turn it into a survival crafty roguelite. Like it's ridiculous the amount of stuff I do, and I go into modding and stuff like that. The game's not there for modding yet on the Special Edition. They haven't even released the creation kit. I haven't gotten access to the beta for it either, so I can't really do much with it. But like playing vanilla, like that's not a bad game. And a lot of people like to hate on it because it kind of took away a lot of the RPG elements from the other ones, and I agree that kind of sucks. But as I'm playing it's
still a step up from Oblivion.
Yeah, it's still a step up in gameplay wise and the world wise. I feel like it's a step up. The storytelling in some places isn't as good because it's not as interesting and is as in-depth because of the location. And then the RPG elements I kind of miss. But at the same time, once mods come around, boom, I have mods for that. So that's going to be fantastic. But it runs on a 64-bit executable. It runs on DirectX 11. So if you have a modern machine that supports DirectX 11, it runs fantastically. Everyone else is having problems with it, though. So if you're on an old graphics card, it apparently has a lot of performance issues, unfortunately. But it's actually pretty good. They didn't fix any bugs except for audio sync issues, and they added a lot of floral and stuff like that. So they added new lighting effects, and the shadows look actually crisp. The old shadows in Skyrim looked pixelated as hell. They went up to like 480 by 80, so they were terrible shadows before, and you couldn't really do anything about that. But the new engine allows for better shadows and stuff like that, so that looks incredible.
And
it actually has color, so that's exciting.
I believe I saw someone who was analyzing the sound quality on consoles compared to the old game, and I believe at least on PS4, the sound quality is a considerable downgrade from the original, actually.
I have a feeling the current consoles, PS4 and Xbox One, actually have like sound processing and stuff like that, and they have a lot of bass boost
and
in them.
I think that was why they are going to patch that or something.
It destroys it. I remember, I can't remember what game it was. There was a review I did of a game. Can't remember. It was one that was also on console, and there was a setting in it to where you could actually change it to have the dynamic boost that consoles have, and it just destroyed the audio. So that was unfortunate. But if you are looking at Skyrim and you've never played it, like wait for Special Edition to go on sale for like $30 or something like that, and then I'd say it's totally worth it to play through it. And mods will get supported eventually.
I've always been curious about playing through, the vanilla version of Skyrim.
I would look at.
There's so many games out there to play. Like there's just so many games, and I'm already overwhelmed right now.
If I wanted to play a game from like how long ago did Skyrim originally come out? Like 5-6 years ago.
It's 5.5 years old.
If I wanted to play a 5.5-year-old game, I'd just go play like I don't know games from earlier than that, like Stalker. I can't stop.
I got to admit that like I'm into Skyrim so much because I like the modding scene, and I spend more time on that game modding than I do anything else. And I only released like 3 mods or something like that. Like I'm not a huge mod or anything like that that's public. But like with the special edition, as soon as it goes up, I might actually end up releasing mods and stuff. So I might get back into that because I just love creating things. So
that's cool.
That's pretty fun. If you're looking at it and you don't just want the base game, currently the original version is actually the one you get because it has all the mods. Like it has 5+ years of modding stacked onto it, and it
there's like a full
better.
like DLC worth of like.
Yeah,
there's just like a mod that's just straight up like basically may as well be the DLC to the game.
Yeah, there's Eternal or whatever. I forgot the name of it. And there's a few other ones too. There's tons of mods to just add ridiculous stuff. I made a mod for my own personal use that turns the game into a roguelite, which is pretty fantastic. So it resets quests and stuff like that. I might make that for SE and release it all public eventually. That's one of my plans now. I've decided to do that. But for right now though, like E and B was released for the original Skyrim, like that plus textures and stuff like that outside of shadows, it can make the game look even better than special edition by like miles, but it also performs like shit. So
I'm sure
it's kind of a trade-off.
I looked up I'm on this extremetech.com looking at this thing for it's comparing Skyrim the
it was 11. Thank you, Sparkplug. Thank you. Sorry, in the Twitch chat somebody's like, it was 11. I remember that now. I don't know why I forgot that.
Oh, we got people in Twitch chat.
Yeah,
that's cool.
They've been chatting.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
We see you. I'm sorry.
I've been interacting with you. You guys suck.
I don't have Twitch open. I can't see anybody.
Oh, gotcha.
Well, whatever.
With some of these comparison,
I've never even streamed on Twitch before. This is a whole new experience.
Oh, sweet, dude.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome to Twitch. It sucks.
8 out of 10.
I'm joking.
I would recommend sometimes.
It sucks, but looking still at maybe better than YouTube.
But I'm looking at some of these photos where they've gone into the one edition and taken pictures in the other one in the exact same spot. And like some of the cities, you don't see too much of a difference. Like where there's like a little bit of like little bushes kind of added around, or like a little textures have increased. But then they have some shots where it's like scenery where there's this little river flowing through, and it's originally it just had like a couple trees and the rocks were kind of there. And then you look at the enhanced edition, and now it's got these giant oaks that are like going up super high. There's moss all over the place. Like the walls or the rock wall actually kind of has some different stuff going on with it. It's an incredible change.
Yeah, when you're playing it, if you've played the original, most people don't play the original vanilla Skyrim anymore. But if you did, like for me, I actually reinstalled Skyrim completely vanilla, no mods or anything like that. Like I wasn't even using the bug fix patch for it, which if you do play it, make sure to download the unofficial legendary patch. It's required to play that game. But
what bugs?
It fixes tons of problems, like just ridiculous. The list is not enough to listen to this podcast. But like the change from going from that, like it's this muddy kind of bluish gray color, and it's just no textures look good, and the foliage is like there's a plant like every 5 feet. It just doesn't look good at all. Like it looks like even more than 5-year-old game. Like it looks like a 7-year-old game because it's an open world game, which generally
every Bethesda game looks like years behind.
Yeah, every Bethesda game does, and Special Edition does as well. It looks like a game from a few years ago. But the problem is like when you go into this new one and you see all that stuff, you're like, oh whoa, like is this is how it could have originally looked. Like it looks great, and they did a lot of good jobs, and a lot of good job on I just did it twice. They did a good job with like making a lot of the scenery look a hell of a lot better. Like when you're walking outside, just Whiterun itself, which is the first kind of like city you go to, just walking outside of that area, there's just tons of grass along the road that you couldn't do with mods.
You see those mountains?
Because of the creation kit limitations.
You can go to those mountains.
Alright. You guys are weird.
I'm sorry. I'm Todd posting in your chat, and I can't stop. Can't be stopped.
All right, that's fine.
Someone give me a link to the Twitch.
Oh, here you go.
Oh, you don't have a link to the Twitch? All right. Well, he's got it.
So, did you guys hear about the Hello Games tweet?
I did not. Adrian was talking about that.
No Man's Sky was a mistake.
Yeah, someone tweeted that No Man's Sky was a mistake. And then I think a little shortly after that, the tweet was removed, and then their whole channel was set to, or their whole Twitch thing was, or sorry, Twitter thing was set to private.
And then the story was that it was A, a disgruntled employee, B, they got hacked, C, it was actually Sean Murray just messing with everyone because he's frustrated and fed up with everyone. No one knows what actually happened.
I like
I've been
some of the
following,
responses. Like there's some photos of it where some guys have put back the game was perfectly enjoyable. It was only the marketing that was a mistake. They're just putting a whole bunch of comments like that up.
Lovely.
Let me find the. There's an article that I've been following that's been updating like every 5 minutes or so about what's actually happening.
Oh,
Let's
you
see.
want to hear some depressing news?
Not really, but lay it on me.
All right. Well, okay. So I just
I mean,
found,
that's my specialty.
I found this right before the podcast, and do you guys know about OnePlay, the company that just bought out like Desura and all these other smaller companies and stuff like that?
Yeah.
All right. So basically, indie kind of distribution services like Desura. A lot of people know about Desura, but there's a bunch of them that were kind of bundled up, and they were owned by a single company after a while because they were just going bankrupt. Apparently, the owner of Desura, this was from years ago, wasn't paying people for selling like sales of their games, and so they were like hugely in debt. They owed thousands of dollars to multiple indie devs just all over the place, and they owed money to way too many people. Apparently, OnePlay, who actually bought them, has publicly stated that it's not their responsibility to pay all those debts.
What?
So apparently, what they
Can you say
did
that
was
again?
they bought the branding of Desura, but they didn't buy Desura's company. Therefore, the debt isn't actually in their name anymore. So the owner of the old Desura actually still has all that debt on his name, and he has publicly stated that he's not paying anyone.
You mean that all the money from Five Nights at Freddy's he got when it first released on Desura didn't pay off all of his debts?
I don't think so. So that means basically everyone who sold games on Desura got screwed over if they didn't get paid already. So that's kind of a big deal. I thought that kind of sucked.
Yeah.
Well, Desura was kind of a crap show of a platform anyway. The only notable game I've ever seen on it was Five Nights at Freddy's. And who the flip cares about Five Nights at
I
Freddy's?
actually got review keys when I first started YouTube for Desura games, and I avoided it.
You want a Desura key? Sure, yeah. Give me that
Yeah, sure,
AOL
whatever.
30-day free trial.
Well, the reason I was
Yeah.
told for that is because Desura apparently like promoted it or something like that on certain people. Like it's like, here's a set of review keys, go send it out and stuff. It's easier than Steam. And it's like, all right, whatever. So I don't know. They had some interesting small games on there, but it was always too expensive. It was like $5 for this 2-minute experience. I'm like, I would rather buy a sandwich or a bag of cookies.
That's like $2.50 a minute. You may as well buy food with that.
Yeah, it's like I'll buy some cookies. That's $5 for a bag that's gonna last me 4 minutes.
You could buy a
cookies.
pound of flour, at least enough sugar, and then you just need like a little bit extra for eggs and butter, and you're
I
good.
can buy 3 of these marshmallow bags.
He just has it on hand.
They're right here. I ate them before the podcast. They're still sitting.
You
here.
could play a game of Chubby Bunny on the stream right now with those marshmallows for less than
They're
that.
delicious.
Well, only he'll be able to play it.
I know, and we can all laugh at
We
it.
is in
Yeah,
him.
and you can all laugh at me in my cat ears. I forgot I was
Point
wearing
left.
those. I just now realized. I was like, oh yeah, that's a thing I have.
I think the best decision I made today was ditching that Sonic hoodie thing.
I'm gonna wear this to work tomorrow.
Where do you work? This
I'm
could
a
make it
dishwasher.
interesting.
It's depressing. Don't call.
I hope
out
you
my
have an
life.
I hope you have an understanding boss.
I don't. It would go bad. I
My
wouldn't do
old
that.
boss was really buddy with me because I drew a picture of him kick flipping on a hand truck, and he loved it. How to
Also,
suck up to your
done.
boss.
Yeah. What? Go for it. Yep.
How to suck up to your boss. Draw a picture of him doing something mundane in a really silly way, and he'll hang it up on his wall and think of you as his treasured employee.
I thought it would be creepy. So
He
UltimaZix
won't.
actually found this one about 10
Oh.
ways Titanfall 2 is different. Is a different shooter. Sorry, I read that title wrong because it cut it off on my screen. 10 ways Titanfall 2 is a different shooter.
Oh,
9 out of 10
I have
of
no
these are
passion
bullshit.
about this.
9 out of 10 of these are bullshit because it's like we
All right,
have unique characters, multiplayer on Xbox One and PC, so it's going to be cross-platform, which is cool.
Is it not out yet?
It's actually
Playful
out.
and
I
let me nutshell all of these for you. Number 10, all maps, modes, and more are free after launch. That's actually a good thing. I will say
That's
it's
what I wanted
moderately
to talk
different.
about, so I skipped that one. Sorry.
Okay. Tone. Playful and often funny. You mean every video game ever that has multiplayer that you can have fun with your friends in? Yeah. Lightning fast movement. Yeah, whatever. Characters. Original.
Yeah, it has characters.
Oh.
That's a thing.
All new Titans. Falls under the category
OC,
of
do not
characters.
steal.
OC, do not steal.
Oh, actually, it says here PlayStation 4 joins Xbox One and PC in the Frontier. So apparently, it's not an Xbox One
crossplay's good.
exclusive.
That's good. I crossplay is never a bad thing.
Well, I don't
You're
think this
cool.
is the crossplay thing. I think that was another article I read that in. This is just saying that Titanfall 2 brings it to Sony for the first time, because it was an Xbox exclusive last time, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, giving it to everyone, that's also not a bad thing. If you have a PS4 and you don't want to buy a PC and you want to buy the video game, just do whatever. Multiplayer you love, but deeper.
Oh, the PC can also be at 4K. That's the point.
Networks, innovative gameplay. Just stop using buzzwords and tell me why your game is good. It's that simple.
It has a single player this time, though, which I'm actually excited for.
Boss fights. Ooh, I like boss fights.
That'd be cool. Oh, a game that I loved the boss fights in was Lost Planet 2. If they have boss fights like that, that would be epic. That game was awesome.
I like how so far everything on this list is basically the kind of stuff they talk about at E3. Everything they've said here is what you'll hear at E3.
Oh yeah, this is a promotional page.
It may as well just be a supercut of E3.
This is promotional page. But the one thing I did really want to talk about was it doesn't say cross-platform in here. Where did I fucking read that? I'm looking for the email on my phone. I just read an email about it and they're advertising bullshit. But I think it's out, or it's out tomorrow or something like that. It's out soon, if it's not already. But yeah, all maps, modes, and more are free after launch, which means they're ditching the whole premium maps and characters and all that other bullshit, which I think is awesome.
Gating off content to your players and splitting the community kills games. It's that simple.
I mean, Call of Duty does it, but they just want to kill their games anyways. So.
Yeah, they have no reason not to kill the games when they come out a new one every year.
You know what? I would actually buy a Call of Duty game if I knew it wasn't going to have like 10 map packs and charge me out the bazoo for the next game next year. So,
another reason why Rainbow Six Siege is such a good video game. Excuse me.
Okay. I don't know, Titanfall 2 though, it looks interesting. Titanfall 1 died too quickly for me to jump in. So, I don't know, I like the gameplay look of it because it's like one of those fast-paced shooters and it had some interesting kind of ideas. And I know it didn't perform on all of them, but if Titanfall 2 does it, this could actually make me think about it more.
Well, there was a lot of negativity that came out with their beta weekends. They were a lot of people that were a part of them just didn't enjoy number 2 like they did number 1. They were saying like the maps weren't as good. Like in Titanfall 1, I guess the maps were very, very nice. Where it didn't matter kind of where you were, you could move to different areas and everything kind of felt even and it was like well designed. But in Titanfall 2, the maps weren't designed very well. It kind of left where there's a lot of like bottlenecks and there wasn't much of being able to freely move around as you could in Titanfall 1.
More choke points.
The Overwatch map design of just make choke points and call it a day.
And there's even just a lot of stuff to do with the gameplay. Just things felt off and people didn't like them. I don't know if it's changed since those, but it was all over the news back during those beta.
I didn't really look into it because I wasn't a big fan of the first one because I didn't get into it. So I haven't
played the first one either, so I couldn't really say. But I just saw it was all over.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Especially where they
we'll see when the reviews come out.
It's like EA Access or their Vault or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's EA
Titanfall 2 isn't actually going to be a part of it.
Oh, that's lame.
That was another big.
That's a missed opportunity, isn't it?
Yeah, that would have been a good way to actually advertise their game that nobody's going to end up playing and it's going to die before I even try it.
That's why I hate. I never get excited for new shooters because longevity never happens. Yeah. Why am I going to jump into a game that has 90% similar mechanics to every other shooter on the market and then is going to die in like a year or two?
Yeah.
Just doesn't make any sense to me.
I want Battleborn to be populated. I really do.
He's at it again.
I want it to live so much. That's fine. Do we want to talk about how Bethesda's are jerks because I mentioned reviews?
I don't know. I know what you're talking about, but I don't know if they're jerks because of this.
All right. Well, okay. I want to hear.
I would like to hear Spentaneous part of the story.
I just released an entire 30-minute video talking about this. So I have lots of thoughts. We'll have fun with this one. All right.
Spent, what is your perspective on it, Spent?
Well, no, let's hear the story first.
Yeah, let's hear the story. So Bethesda released. Let me actually open up the blog post so I can read it. La 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 la. All right. At Bethesda, we value media reviews. We read them, we watch them, we try to learn from them when they offer critique, and we understand their value to our players, period. Earlier this week, we released Doom. We sent review keys to arrive the day before launch, which led to speculation about the quality of the game. This makes no sense at this point. Since then, Doom has emerged as a critical and commercial hit, and now is one of the highest rated shooters of the past few years. Once again, does anybody see where this is going? Because this makes no sense to me.
They're trying to build them freaking selves up because they're just like,
with the upcoming launches of Skyrim
multiplayer.
Special Edition and Dishonored 2, we will continue our policy of sending media review copies one day before release, while we will continue to work with media streamers and YouTubers to support their coverage. Both before and after release, we want everyone, including those in the media, to experience our games at the same time. We will also understand that some of you will want to read reviews before you make your decision, and if that's the case, we encourage you to wait for your favorite reviewer to share your thoughts. And then it talks about release date.
So
now I want to add in one thing.
I don't entirely disagree with that.
I want to put in one extra little note because they did release early review keys and stuff like that. Not review keys, preview keys to Skyrim Special Edition, to where streamers and YouTubers could do 2 hours of content, like the first 2 hours of the game. And it was heavily restricted. Apparently somebody was speaking out of their shoes and saying like, oh yeah, well you can't say this and this and this and stuff like that. So yeah.
What if they accidentally gave it to a speedrunner and he just beat the game in like a half hour?
That'd be great. But apparently
using bowls to like clip through walls and stuff.
Apparently they're just not sending out they're sending out NDA keys basically, so you can actually do certain bits of content. So they're still promoting through media, but they're not sending out keys that you can actually review the game for. So you can it restricts your coverage of it until the day of, which
right.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, I don't entirely disagree with that policy. Like, you know, release it to everyone when it's released. If reviews are gonna affect your decision, you wait a couple of days before you buy it. It seems like it seems very reasonable to me.
Well, okay, so here's my problem with it. I have a whole video if you want to hear more of it. I have 30 minutes for you to listen to. But in short, it screws over a hell of a lot of people when they do this type of stuff because I do reviews on my own channel. That's one of the big things that I do, and it takes a long time to do a review. And the thing is, one day isn't long enough to make a review. Like, I don't do this full time, and a lot of people don't, or they have other stuff they have to do. Maybe they have another game that they have to do a review on. Maybe they're working on video. Maybe they have Medium, blah, 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 blah. They don't have enough time to review the game properly, which means that one of two things is going to happen. One, they're going to release an incomplete and improper, misleading review because they want those first day notices. Like, they want all those people to get all those viewers, you know, like let's say media websites and stuff like that. They need those page views on day one, and they need to be the first one out there with that review to get all those views, and they need that to succeed. So they're going to do it regardless. And number two, people like YouTubers and things like that, they can't get it out right away. We're going to release it, and we're going to see huge cuts in our viewership, and we're going to see some kind of negative effects in the fact that we released one of these reviews early and it's incomplete, and then we end up getting shunned for that because our quality is very important on YouTube and stuff like that, because that's how you get your viewers. Or we wait longer and then just don't get the viewership at all. And so that's my main complaint. Also, it's kind of like Bethesda saying like, you know what? Who cares? We're going to like still do the marketing stuff while just not allowing people to do reviews, which I think is kind of BS.
Yeah.
It's the fact that they're double dipping when they should just be doing one. I'd be fine if they weren't doing the preview stuff. It's the fact that they are doing the preview stuff that bothers me the most.
I would argue that even like a certain amount of time can be destructive to reviews depending on the type of game it is. Like, you guys know about the reviews for Metal Gear Solid 5, right?
Nope.
The Phantom Pain.
Nope.
So when Metal Gear Solid 5 was given review copies out, it was given a week before release, and that seems like the perfect amount of time. Like, compared to like Skyrim,
well, they
you only need like a couple
launch event thing too.
Yeah, they did the preview launch, and then they did the review copies a week before. But the amount of time that you'd need to play the game to realize that it's a unfinished mess is, I would honestly say 8 days, because of the amount of in-game timers in the game you need to progress the story and to progress your weapons to get to a certain part in the story to win the game. It's very, I would say that if you want to be honest about your embargo date for when you can release reviews and how long to give people review copies to beat your game and give a proper review, give as long as it takes to 100% the game plus at least a day.
I would agree.
I would wager.
And I'm not one of those people that thinks you have to 100% a game or complete a game even to do a review. Yeah. Like, I do reviews before I finish games all the time.
Yeah. Or even like 75%, just enough to get a full grasp of the gameplay and see if this is a game for your customer. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And 1 day is not enough. A week for Metal Gear Solid 5 was not enough.
Yeah, and so
I would
that's
disagree
the
on
problem.
that. I would say, like, typically I know if I'm going to keep playing a game or not an hour into it. If I've played it for an hour and I've gotten to the point where, like, I don't know if I like this game, or if I say I don't like this game, or I say I like the game, I've already made up that decision within an hour. Yes, if I'm kind of on the fence with it, I'll keep playing it, and it may change my mind. But if I dislike a game within the first hour of playing it, I'm done, and I'm not going to be playing it anymore.
I would agree and disagree purely because a game can completely like flip its mechanics. Like take Brutal Legend. If you only played an hour of Brutal Legend, you would be screwed because you don't want to play RTS after the next first hour or so, because the whole game is just RTS after the first hour. But
First hour is fun though. I liked it.
it is a very fun first hour. But sorry, I don't mean to like totally like shut you down. That's not what I'm intending to do.
Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but in this case, yours is wrong. Just kidding.
We're gonna play those cards now, are we?
Yeah.
Play Zodiac on your ass.
But the main point I'm trying to make is sorry, I lost my train of thought. What were we talking about?
Moving on to another time. I'm just joking.
Dagnabbit!
We're talking about review keys not being sent out at proper times.
Oh, right. Okay, so the way that it's not even a matter of if I'm going to keep playing a game after the first hour. It's more a matter of, am I satisfied with the experience at the end of playing it? Because like I've beaten tons of games where like I beat it and I'm like, I would never do that ever again. I would rather have that much of my life back. Even if I wanted to keep playing after the first hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, was it a satisfying experience? And in some cases, that opinion might change. Like I stayed at Hotline Miami as my example in the first part. That was a game that I regret playing after beating it. But after a month or two, I realized how much of a good time I had and how much of an experience I wish I could have had that time over again.
There's a lot of games that I've played to where, like, I'm gonna bring this back to the reviews a little bit. Like, even on my Steam library, like, there's a lot of games that I played to where either I'll start off not really liking it, and the reviews universally panned it. One game that I talked about in the first podcast was Recore. I love that game, and I think it's fantastic, and I'm still playing it. But at the same time, I know it's not a perfect game. Reviews almost universally panned that game. And one of the main problems with it was the fact that it had technical problems and stuff like that, and a lot of people didn't spend a lot of time with it. Like, it released, and review keys weren't sent out. So it was released, and within a day, reviews were sent out. 99% of the reviews that I checked, because I took tons of reviews, and I did this for a video that I haven't done yet, so that's coming. And I'm like, you know what? Most of these reviews don't actually say anything beyond the first hour of the game. Like, there were some reviews that don't even say you can change character chassis. They don't say that there's multiple characters. They just say, oh, you have this dog. And you actually get 3 different characters, and they have different chassis. They didn't talk about how they had different explorative elements. They didn't talk about the crafting system. They didn't say that you could manually aim, which pissed me off when I was looking at reviews. Because everyone talked about this lock-on system, which they kind of tutorialized in the beginning of the game. You don't have to use it. You can actually manually aim and all this other stuff. And like, there's a lot of things that were missing in a lot of these reviews. But then when I ended up waiting longer and longer, 2 weeks later, which is a long time to wait for a game you're excited for, by the way.
Well, if it's
I
a game that I'm excited for, I know I have a weird perspective on this, but if it's a game I'm excited for, I will vehemently avoid any news or any spoilers, save for the release date of like anything. I don't want to know anything. I want to know nothing about the game. I want to go in completely blind.
Best way to do it.
Yeah, when the next Star Wars movie comes out, I won't be online at all for like 2 weeks. So.
And that's why it's pissed me off so much that Nintendo's released so much about Pokemon Sun and Moon, because I want to go into it and I want to go and start playing and be like, oh my god, what is that Pokemon? I've never seen anything like it before. Instead of being like, oh, it's that one I saw like a month or two ago.
It's the one from the trailer that they released 2 weeks before release.
Yeah. Well, that's tough though, because there's a lot of people that look at it the complete opposite way, where they want to know all this stuff.
Yeah,
it's hype culture. It's all about hype. I
just want to point out before we go off topic, because that's where we're going now. Bethesda's not the only one to do this. They're just the only one that's want to be vocal. So I do want to give a shout out to Bethesda for at least being honest about it. But EA, Activision, Ubisoft, they've all been doing this. They've been doing it for over a year. So
we want everyone to experience our game at the same time.
It's not new. Just Bethesda is the first one to be like, this is what we're doing. And we're proud of it. And I'm like,
You're stupid, but I'm glad you told us.
at least you told us. So I just want to say that out there for anybody wondering why reviews are always late and stuff like that. Like, that's a huge reason in the AAA industry. The other reason is because indie devs are really slow to send out review keys to small channels. Get on that.
Well, going back to the Bethesda, the reason why I'm okay with that is when you're developing a game, it does, like, because of the way it works now with the patches. You buy the game launch day and there's already patches out there.
Yeah.
And it's because there's all this work to go to fix up bugs because, I think I mentioned this in the last podcast where when you're building games now, they still expect the game to be done in the same amount of time, but there's now so much more that has to be done for it. So it's all being so there's a lot of stuff that's crammed down and being expected to be done a lot quicker. And when you give if you gave the game out a week in advance, there could be so many bugs in it that haven't been able to be fixed now that they fix in a week.
Well, like I made a great comparison in the video I did about Doom. Like Doom, 2 days before launch, it could have been a complete mess. It could have had a game-breaking bug right at the beginning of the game that they just could not fix, and then they fixed it last minute and then sent out review keys and it was perfectly fine. And they might have been like right on the edge because that game had a day one patch. Even on console, so like
everything has day one patches.
Now it's too common, but like I understand it because developing games is hard. It takes a lot of time, and the quality that we expect is so much higher than before. And I really hope that developers aren't kind of promoting this sort of actions either because of that. Like, I want developers to be proud of their work, and even if it's not finished, I want them to be like kind of honest about that and be like, hey, it's not finished, but it's fucking great. Yeah, blow up some aliens.
Well, it doesn't matter what we think what we do. There's going to be people that are going to use this to their advantage in a positive way, and there's going to be developers who use this in a negative way.
It's not 100% negative, but it's not necessarily a good thing in my opinion.
The ability to discern between a good business move, a good consumer move, and a good developer move are very important skills for a consumer. And I would say that the thing that Bethesda did is more so a business decision than a developer and consumer friendly decision.
Yeah. But it's not all bad. Not all bad. I don't know. I can't look at games without reviews anymore unless I get like some review key or I'm like I have to have some sort of like guarantee. Actually, I think I was talking to you yesterday about this, Ultima, about how like I don't pick up games unless there's some sort of guarantee. Like there's certain publishers and certain developers where I'm like, you know what? I can probably pick up their game and be safe about it. And I'll be like, you know what?
I would disagree because the first two Batman Arkham Asylum games were god tier, and then the last two were.
Well, it's not perfect, but what I'm saying is I can be a little less skeptical about it. Like I still try and find reviews and things. Like it's kind of ironic. I'm a reviewer and I look up reviews.
It's good to find if you don't want to be spoiled about a story, you want to find the general consensus of, is this game at least like up to a certain quality? And if it is, by all means, go for it. If you want to experience it first before everyone else, go for it. But I would say the best way to be a consumer is to pretend you live in the previous year.
Zix, you're gonna hate me for this, but I played Batman Arkham Asylum and I didn't play very long into the game because I was like, oh, I've played this before. It's like Assassin's Creed, but with Batman.
Well, that's fine.
I have never played them, so
I would say that Batman was the point where everyone realized that that's a combat system that's easy to implement if you do it right. So
Batman did it right. Like it was good.
It was really good. But then I was like, you get like Mad Max, and then you get like all these other open world games that just do the same combat system.
That wasn't the only problem with Mad Max.
people like that kind of stuff. I'm not a huge
people love that game. I can't.
Oh, a lot of people love it, but there's a lot of issues with it.
Don't you just love going into Ubisoft open world game to climb tower and fill up map? That's his best game.
I played Far Cry 3 not too long ago. Actually, like 2 weeks ago. But like, yeah, that game was one of the earlier Ubisoft ones that just did that, and then they just kept doing it. I'm just like, man.
And I'm guilty of still playing them and enjoying that stuff.
You gotta admit though, it's tough to find like actual like genuine reviews. Okay, two tangents. One, every game is an 8 out of 10 unless it's absolutely abysmal. It's extremely rare to find
about mainstream. Yeah.
It's okay. It's absolute suicide for a game review site to score something that's popular very low. unless it's actually garbage.
So
because when you
Frostif, I just want to mention, guy in the Twitch chat was talking about how IGN, how he lost IGN. Like, IGN lost me when they did Sonic Lost World review. They did a Sonic Lost World review? That happened? They still review Sonic games? I love that game, by the way. I have a review of it. It's fantastic.
Sonic Lost World.
It's actually a really good platformer. It's not a Sonic game, but it's a really good platformer. They gave it a 3 out of 5.
Of course.
That is one of the best Sonic games that is ever released, and they gave it a 3 out of 5. There was literally no way.
A lot of the other recent Sonic games were like 1 out of 5.
Well, like, okay, so IGN gave it a 5.8, mediocre, right? Community reviews are 8.1. I fucking love the game. I would say 8 is about where it lands, somewhere around there. Like, it's not perfect. It has its issues, but it's a good platformer, but it's also not a Sonic game.
I would give it 8 buggy Sonics out of 10.
Sonic Lost World wasn't actually buggy. It was actually pretty flawless.
The PC port was flawless.
Yeah, the PC port was wonderful. Like, I have the PC port.
The PC port was flawless.
Of a Sonic game?
It was good.
Yeah, Sonic. A lot of Sonic
I
games
didn't
coming
play
out
that on
now.
PC though.
Oh, I don't know how it was on Wii U. But I'm
Whoever's
looking at
porting
the PC
the Sonic
review.
games to PC needs to be given 6 raises at least.
Yeah.
6 raises.
But I don't like
know-
Sonic games. So
I know
don't
they
really-
gave Sonic Generations a bad score too, which that's undebatably the best Sonic game that's released in a long time.
Absolutely.
Hold on.
Here he comes.
Since we're talking
I forgot
about it,
that.
anyway,
Jesus Christ.
we're talking about it. Might as well
Sorry.
put it back on for a little bit.
I spelled
so-
Generations wrong. God damn it.
I had this topic that I wanted to bring up. There's a channel that I watched that used to do like source filmmaker animations, but he recently decided to do game industry and game review kind of stuff. He recently made a new series called Video Game Review Reviews, where he does a review of a video game site's review. And
That's awesome.
All right.
it's honestly a really good concept because he basically reviews the game and compares.
It's like a rebuttal, basically.
Yeah, it's just like a response, but it's
Make
more
sure
of
here there, Michael.
What?
he'll like
What's in my hair? Shut up. Yeah, I'm
he'll like analyze
It's
did they
getting in my
actually
eyes.
play the game and stuff like that. Are you okay, Michael?
No, I'm dying over here. I need a marshmallow.
He's grooming himself.
Gosh dang.
Yeah.
But no, it's like it's a really interesting concept because he can like see, are they actually making a point in this paragraph? Did they actually play the game, or does it feel like they just watched a trailer or watched a ton of gameplay and watch a let's play and see what it does? Did they more focus on one aspect than the other? And all in all, did they actually give a fair, informative review to their customers? And most of them are pretty bad because he does reviews from like IGN and Polygon is
Of course.
Polygon is a mess. There's only one good person on that site, and he does comedy.
I
But
saw
that's-
one good review from them. It was for some indie game. I can't even remember what it was called. But I was like, wow, this is actually a very informative review. I wonder how their other ones are.
Oh no.
I remember when Sonic Boom came out, and they were all over that on everything.
Oh, everyone was all over Sonic Boom.
I
Because
was.
Sonic Boom is a hot mess.
I wasn't. I avoided it.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Oh
I'm a
my gosh,
Sonic
there was
fan,
a
and I
story
avoided
about
it.
Sonic Boom that was the absolute best thing in the world. It was something like, I'm a caretaker for this high functioning autistic. He can't talk very well, but every now and then he's very clear about what he wants. And one day I took him to GameStop because he likes Sonic games and he wanted to get the new Sonic game. We got Sonic Boom. We sat him down. He played for a little while. He just kind of grunts and moans every now and then because he doesn't really talk very well. He played for about 2 hours, set the controller down, turned it off, turned to me and said, "Anon, that was the worst game I've ever played." He had never constructed a sentence before in his life, and that was the first thing that he'd ever said fluently.
That's
It's-
amazing.
that-
That's what a success story.
Sonic Boom prompts autistic children to actually speak.
Oh god, the game is so artistic. It enlightens everyone else. It's fantastic.
No,
Well,
that's
that
something
would've
that
gone over.
actually happened. And it's
All right,
amazing.
so-
So Sonic Boom did one thing good.
They,
Yay,
they
that's
saved an
right.
autistic boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They also made one of the buggiest games ever made and made hilarious YouTube videos.
Wait,
Mhm.
my number 9 on Wii U.
What?
Oh yeah, that was like crashing people Wii's and stuff.
Do you guys know about Mighty Number 9?
I know about it.
Oh, Mighty
I have
Number
it.
9. I thought you were saying Sonic Boom was your number 9 game on Wii U.
That's what I thought at
like,
first. I was like, what?
I was like, what?
Like,
I was saying the worst, most buggy game on Wii U. Is
Oh
Mighty
no,
Number
sorry.
9.
I was thinking of the Beautiful 100 or whatever it is.
The wonderful 101.
1 for 101. That was.
Kamiya makes good games. He's a jerk, but he makes good games.
All right, so we're reaching towards the end of the show, but before we end up going, I wanted to play a game.
Oh yes,
You guys
I remember
know
this.
what this game is.
Yes.
So, show's basically over if you're here for news and shit like that. For one, I don't know why you logged in. Number two,
Yeah, that's
Why?
great. Tell the people that are spending their time watching stuff, going, I don't know why you're here.
yeah, like why are you here? Anyway, so we're gonna play a game for our Halloween thing.
Looking at you, Frosif.
And so basically the game is we are going to challenge each other to talk about something in a certain personality or like a certain character. And we're going to go in rotation. So the challenge is, as an example, you
expect
could be
this
like,
to be brutally bad.
this is probably going to be brutally bad and it's going to be fantastic. We're not going to do it for too long. It's okay. Just wanted to try it. So basically, here's an example. I could be like, Spentaneous, I challenge you to talk about crayons very, very angrily.
What's a crayon?
Crayon.
Crayon.
Crayon?
You don't know
Like
what a crayon
Crayola
is?
crayon.
A crayon, like those little things where you write when you're a kid.
Michael, do you know how to say the word crayon?
I say
Because that's
crayon.
not, crayon.
Crayon.
You got to get those cranberries.
Cranberries. Cranberries. Am I talking like an old man? Oh,
So
that's
I
the
have
man.
to talk about,
Talk about the old
crayons,
crayons.
but be angry about them.
Yeah, but then you got to be angry about them.
What's my motivation?
I don't know. You gotta come up
That's
with
your
that.
prompt. Go.
That's your prompt.
Someone
Go.
is taking them from you.
Crayons!
You're right. This is terrible. Let's move on. Spontaneous. Challenge someone
I
to do
needed
something.
motivation.
Fine. Come up with a story and then make us do it. You go for it.
I have to come up with a story.
I don't know. You can.
Okay.
If you want to.
Just do whatever you want.
Do what you
All right.
want. Just
All
don't
right.
take off your shirt. That's illegal on Twitch.
Yeah.
Really? All right.
Yeah, it is. It'll get us banned.
So, and it's contest, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's not really a contest. Just go for it. I mean,
No.
Oh, you're saying
You're
contest?
so I like
My
this guy. That was
username,
good.
man. Come
Sorry.
on.
Go for it.
So you're on a date, all right?
All right.
All right, with a beautiful young boy, and boy is not the right word. A beautiful man, right? You're on a date with a beautiful man.
Okay.
I'm on a date with Michael.
Yeah. So you're on a date with Michael,
He
and
seemed like he was into it.
you're trying to talk to him passionately about 7-Up.
Can I have that one? I love 7-Up.
All right. I'll pass it to you.
All right, Ultimate,
As
go
a-
for it. I want to hear about
Michael.
your 7-Up.
Michael, the day I saw the cool spot and I saw that twinkle in your eye, I knew that you were the kind of guy who would enjoy 7-Up. However, I must go for I found a new love, Sierra Mist Twist, the only soda with a twist of real juice, and you need to know that it's the truest of bubbles, the truest bubbly drink that you would ever taste in your life, and I must go for they are my true love, and I'm afraid unless you also love the delicious twist that is Sierra Mist Twist, we can't be together. I'm gonna be real honest with you right now.
I've got to be
he's gonna
I've got to
miss
be
getting
honest
in your
back.
bowl.
I got to be honest back, man. You're breaking my heart because I'm a Sprite guy. Just
Don't go breaking my heart.
He's gonna miss getting in your cool spot.
damn it, we needed him to challenge someone.
It's too late.
Where's my
You. No, that's inappropriate.
All right, Ultima, challenge someone.
Okay. I had a really good one. Okay. Shoot, did I actually break my microphone?
Well, we
It's
can
not
still
as
hear
it's
you.
a lot
Worth it.
floppier than it usually is.
It was worth it.
ContisMaximus.
Alrighty.
You walk up to the drive-through at Sonic's, right?
Mm-hmm.
You decide to get an order of burgers and fries. The drive-through window rolls open and it's Lightning McQueen. He looks you dead in the eye and says, "I killed your family." What do you do?
Can I ask who Lightning McQueen is?
It's from.
I already threw my headset off once. I can't do it again.
He's from the movie Cars.
I will link you to the wiki article. All right. Ready for
Okay.
this? You're not gonna believe this. Oh shit! I'm in the wrong chat. All right, well, the Nexus modding community now knows the Wikipedia article for Lightning McQueen. All right, whatever. They already hate me.
That's okay. They'll get over it. maybe your standing can't get any worse.
I know. I'm wearing cat ears. That's pretty much it. And I fuck with my hair.
Oh, he's the Cars cat guy. Character car.
He's the fast one.
The joke is that you're in a drive-thru and you're walking and he's inside and he's a car.
Right.
All right. I get it.
I'll be back. Hey there, Lightning McQueen. I heard you go fast. I'm here for my chili dog and french fries, but actually a burger, because that's what you said. But I'm challenging you to a race, because I'm the fastest thing alive, even though you're a car technically not alive. But we're gonna go fast. And Sonic the Hedgehog.
In the time that you said this sentence, Lightning McQueen has already won 16 more piston cups.
We lost half of our viewers.
That was impressive.
That was really good.
That was really good.
Thank you.
Good job.
I do improv. It's a thing.
He does. Know. That's why I wanted him on this one.
Nice.
I planned it.
Well, that was actually extremely successful.
Yes. Oh, ContisMaximus, you got to challenge someone. We'll keep going for another.
Well,
we've got like 12 minutes on the show left. So
12 minutes. All right.
We'll go for it. Yeah, challenge someone.
I challenge. Well, Michael, you're the only one who has gotten a challenge yet.
That is true.
All right.
Bum, bum, bum.
Let's see. I challenge you to explain. Let's see.
I'm getting bored.
To explain I challenge you to explain the concept of
love
reality TV to an alien invader. Go.
Ooh.
So, welcome to Earth, and you know that thing that you do in space to where you're living, but you're not really living. You're thinking about how you would normally live inside of your shower while you're getting the water down your throat. You have to look at that and be like, what if that was actually real and recorded, but it wasn't actually real and it wasn't actually recorded? Instead, it was spy cams that were set up intentionally, and they were looking at you through the shower curtain. Can you imagine this? You go from one planet to another, and then there's cameras all over that planet that is set up exactly like the other planet, except it's not a real planet. It's a fake planet, and you have to look through it, and people think it's real because they watch it on the television, and then it looks real, and they're like, oh my god, this drama happened, this stuff happened, but it's not really real. Can you imagine this? This is the concept. It's a very unique concept. It sells millions. Everyone loves it. Everything loves it, and you need to have it on your planet if you don't already have it. We need to set up another planet that has every single thing on your planet, but it's not real. It's all not real. None of it's real. Instead, we script everything. It's supposed to look like it happened in real time, but really, it's a bunch of special effects made in After Effects and Premiere, and then maybe a little bit of that pirated other program that nobody talks about. It happened, but it wasn't real. Michael? But people think it's real. It's all traumatic, and that is space.
Oh my gosh!
It'll be through the roof.
That monologue.
I'd be.
I was following you for most of that, but then I lost you at the end.
His consciousness. That was right. Michael explaining to an alien as his brain is being picked at.
All right, that's fine.
Via the alien.
My brain goes all over the place. Don't ask me to explain things. I can't even explain why I'm wearing cat ears still. I plan to take them off after the first 5 minutes, and I'm still wearing them.
It's because they've grown on you.
That is true.
Now the glue sticks have set in. It's just stuck there.
Yeah, it's just like, oh god. All right, well,
actually,
we'll talk about that later.
I'm kind of okay with this.
We've got 4 minutes.
It is relevant to my interests.
Spentaneous, we need to think of a good one for you.
Yeah, he kind of got gimped on the first one.
Yeah. Does anybody have any good ideas they wanted to try?
I can't think of any more Lightning McQueen jokes. I'm all out.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. All right, Spentaneous. Imagine you were about to jump out of an airplane on your first bungee jumping accord. It is a new tactical retreat thing that they have, and they're like, you're going to bungee jump from an airplane. Explain to the pilot while you're missing 2 feet how this doesn't work.
Okay, so you want me to jump out the plane? I don't have any legs. Okay, so how do I jump out without any? Okay, so I'm just gonna lift myself up. I just pull. pull myself. No, I'm strapped. I'm strapped to the bench. I don't have any legs. No, so I can't. I need you to pick me up. No. Grab me by the waist. Not the arms. I need just now just can you put me towards the door? Oh God, that's a little high. Okay,
just a little.
Cap.
Why does he get all the terrible ones? Can we give Spentaneous a good?
That was great. I loved it. I liked
it. 10 out of 10 performance, 0 out of 10 concept. Step it up, Michael.
All right. Well, do you want to take on the one that Frostsif mentioned in the chat? He actually says, "Explain how the mall works as a Valley girl." I mean, if you don't want to do it, I can do it.
All right, go for it. If you've got something for this.
Do it? Yeah, my sister's like, do it.
Oh my God!
This is the last one we're doing for this.
This is gonna be good. I'm excited.
Oh my God. Oh my God. So you haven't been to the local mall and you haven't gone there and looked at all the stores? You got to know how a mall works. You take your wallet that your mother gave you with all your credit cards and you go in with your brand new car from your daddy, and then you got to go in and you walk into the store and they have stuff. You take them off the shelves, you put them in your pretty bag that you bought at another store, and you walk up to the counter and you say, "Hello, lady, I'm prettier than you, but I want this stuff more than you, and I have to pay for it. But I have money because my parents are rich." So then you're like, "I'm from the Valley, girl." You got to understand all the stuff. So you go to the juice bar and you got to talk with all your friends. And you got to be like, "Guess what I just bought, girls? I bought this new bag. And look what's in the bag. Another bag. It's so fantastic. It's got another bag inside of that bag as well that has my lipstick. And it has another credit card.
Oh, my lipstick.
And it's
got my lipstick at the mall.
Yeah, I bought this lipstick, and it's nice and red, as you can see, and it's very pretty. And I also bought this stuffed animal that I'm going to throw at my boyfriend. It's fantastic.
No way.
Oh, my
and
boyfriend.
when you're done shopping, you look at your credit card, and you tell your mommy that it wasn't your fault. Somebody stole it. And then you don't have to pay anything. That's how the mall works. That's how it works, girl. But don't buy the cinnamon rolls.
Why'd you invite this girl, Becky? Oh my God.
Don't invite Becky. She always takes you to the cinnamon roll shop, and she's just like, "You need to eat these." And you're like, "No, I don't want to be fat. I need to keep my waist down to a 12.
Becky.
It needs to be at a 12. It can't be any higher than that. It just can't. Just can't go any higher. If it goes higher, then you're fat and stuff. And then you can't go to the mall because everyone looks at you and you can't get a boyfriend to throw stuffed animals at."
All right, and
I like how she turned into a bitch.
Yeah, she ended up being a bitch. She just goes home and beats his husband. Or her husband.
Beats his husband. It's a drag queen.
That's actually a transvestite.
Or her boyfriend.
Queen Valley girl.
All right. So anyways, thank you guys for joining us on the Broken Chat Box. Hopefully this was fun. Hopefully we can do more games like this more early in the show later on. Stuff like that. I think that went well.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, so that was fun. So we'll try more games next time, and hopefully earlier in the show. Maybe we'll start off with games.
We don't tell Adrian beforehand that we're doing games.
Yeah, we'll force him to do it next time.
Yeah, but Adrian's a party pooper, anyways.
Yeah, he didn't want to do it.
What a dingus!
Unfortunately, he'll be here next week, I'm sure. So
should we shill our channels before we go?
Oh yeah, we need to shill first. I forgot about that. I didn't calculate in the time, so we're running overtime, but that's fine. So all right, so who wants to go first? Ultima, you mentioned it. You get the reward.
Woohoo! I am Zixlucium. I do video games. I stream on Twitch. I have a Twitter. Let me just give you all the links in the chat. You can follow me at twitch.tv/UltimaZix, twitter.com/C/UltimaZix, youtube.com/C/UltimaZix. What else do I have? You can join my Discord. If you look at my Twitch, there's all sorts of links for everything that you would ever want.
According to Discord, there's a link to our Discord in the description. I don't have it on Twitch because I forgot about it. But on YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube, I will have a link to it, and you can actually join our Discord channel and chat with us all the time if you want to. That'll be up now. I set it up to be that way. It'll be on Twitch eventually, so by next show it'll be there. But it'll be on the archive.
I'd post them a link right now, but it would just delete it.
Yeah, it deletes it all. I think I can post it. I'll go ahead.
But yes, if you enjoy roguelites and Rainbow Six Siege, my channel is the channel for you. Would highly recommend if you subscribe. That's a-okay with you. That's all up to you. If you feel my content's worth your time, do whatever you want.
UltimaZix. Yeah.
Let's see if this works. Pow! Pow! Who's next to Shale?
I guess I will go next. Hey everybody, I am ContisMaximus. I have a YouTube channel called ContisMaximus. I don't have enough subscribers to have a custom URL, so it's a bunch of vomit onto your URL screen.
You can Google his little thing underneath his name, and it does show up. So.
Oh, does it?
It should. It did for me. So.
Cool. It's the channel with the Final Fantasy VI Let's Play and nothing else. But soon it'll have Earthbound on it. Special promo for everyone here in the Twitch chat. And that's my channel.
Woo!
He's actually a funny guy
plays.
too. I've hung out with him a little bit. He's cool. So hopefully he makes better content in the future.
Well, now that Michael said that he's a cool guy,
I am a super cool
I thought it
guy.
was a pretty
It's
good.
cool guy.
I don't know. I guess I'll chill and then I'll go to Spentaneous. So my name is Michael. Welcome to my Twitch and my channel stuffs. If you're watching the archives, welcome to YouTube. I do reviews and things like that. Topic videos have been my main shield right now. Is like, hey, I got this new topic stuff. So a lot of the stuff that we cover in the podcast, I also do videos on that are more in-depth type of stuff. So if you're looking for in-depth reviews that I constantly talk through and never stop, that's gonna be me basically. If you're looking for topic videos, it's gonna be constant. You can find me. You can see my name underneath my face down there. michaelpstanich. Just Google that. You'll find me everywhere. I'm also on Twitter. I don't do Facebook anymore, so I'm not on Facebook anymore. But, you know, you can just find me around. But, yeah, I'm also working on doing a lot of different other types of stuff. I started this podcast, so if you want to see this podcast every week, it's also archived up on my channel and everything like that. So, yeah, and hopefully I can get more comedy-type stuff going on and stuff like that. I'm trying to do more collab stuff. UltimaZix, you screwed us over last time.
What are we talking
That
about?
Portable 2 thing didn't work out. That was unfortunate.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah, we had some recording problems. Sad face.
Yeah.
We'll do something.
What'd you call it? Portable 2. It's called Portal 2, you
Portal 2.
dingle.
he also has problems saying collab. So you know,
I have problems saying words, as we've noticed. That's a problem with me.
What was the word he was having trouble saying earlier?
I talk really, really fast. And I
Cran.
talk really, really like fluently sometimes, but at the same time, I fumble against my words all the time, and you can't.
So is that
understand
really
it.
fluently if you're fumbling words though?
No, I'm lying. I'm also a liar, apparently. All right, Spentaneous, go.
So I'm Spen from Spentaneous. I have my own channel called Spentaneous. If you haven't yet, you're going to hear it black. It's going to stick in your head, Spentaneous. So I have a... Thank you. I have a channel that used to be focused on gaming, but for the last couple of weeks, we've been kind of doing a bit of a rebrand for it. This Sunday, actually, is where we get our first video officially out, which is going to be exciting. It's a cross between late-night television meets sketch comedy meets YouTube gaming. So it's going to be pretty sweet. It's kind of like a half-an-hour episode type thing. We do a whole bunch of quick little things, show you a bunch of different videos, show you the best of the best, and then throughout the week we finish posting a bunch of stuff. But more importantly, I do a Dungeons and Dragons every Saturday, 1 o'clock Mountain Time. We're actually tomorrow we're going to be streaming it on my friend's channel BJ and Co. I can drop a link for that as well. But we're actually looking for another player to join the ranks. So if anyone's interested, definitely get a hold of me because we're looking for a new player. It's my own custom campaign, custom world I've been building over the last couple of years. So I like to think it's pretty good.
Probably is.
So I hope it is.
All right, so
Yeah, it's me, Spentaneous.
yeah, it is.
Hey, thanks so
quite
much for
catchy.
tuning in, everyone who's in the chat.
Yeah, thank you guys
Yeah,
so
thank
much.
you.
So we actually had a very interactive chat this time, so thank you. Also, it helps that I have it on screen this time. I was so bad the last two. But anyways, yeah, thank you guys for joining the Broken Chatbox, and I hope to see you guys next week, Friday at 5 or later.
Or later.
Yeah, probably later.
Probably later.
Adios.
Anyway.